There we go. And now we take it nice and easy. There's no rush. We're not in a rush. We're just driving. Just driving. Okay, so everyone else is in a rush. That's fine. We don't have to be that. You got to drive your car the way Bob Ross paints a painting. Just drive. Relax, mellow, take your time. If there's any mistakes, if you run someone over, there are no mistakes. Just happy accidents. You didn't run someone over, that's just roadkill. Oh, that's not a smudge. Those are bushes. Oh, that little streak up in the sky, no, that's a little bird. That's a bird. See, it's all good. Obviously I'm live streaming, but for some reason you guys love to come back and watch the VOD. You guys love to come back and watch the archive. It's appreciated. I like it, you know. It lets me know that I'm connecting with people out there in the world. Red light. Just take it slow, take it easy. Big old mess mop of hair, man. Fun fact about Miss Valerie. My hair's already going great. Already going gray. Going gray. So first job I have, I'm working today. IKEA jobs. Yay. First one's extremely easy. The second one, technically also easy, but I'm not looking forward to it. It's just I'm dealing with bigger things that I don't like working with. Oh yeah, that's the thing is I'm putting together furniture that doesn't take it doesn't take all day or nothing. I'll probably be there 3.5 hours. It's just a pain in the ass to build. So I know that you guys love listening to me talk for whatever reason. And I was thinking of making a gig economy podcast. With the Facebook group that I'm on, TaskRabbit Taskers United. And it wouldn't just focus on TaskRabbit, it would focus on the gig economy as a whole. You know, we wouldn't limit it to just one thing. So moseying down the freeway right now, just relaxing, hanging out. Just want to knock this workout and get home, you know, make that money. So the goal is to stack up as much money as I can. It's like, it's weird having money because I'm so used to not having it, but I know that very, very soon this money will evaporate because of purchasing a vehicle, and that also entails an added expense every month, you know, with the insurance. So I'm just trying to like take whatever work I can get, not being too picky. My number one thing is I don't do team tasks. Unless it's with my buddy Duncan, I just don't do it. I just don't do team tasks, period. Um, I don't do yard work. Another one. Oh, I'm headed to an IKEA job. You know, the car search has been kind of blast, so today I'm working. I would like to save up some more money, you know, try to, you know, get a little look around for a better deal on a car, something more worth my while, but I don't want to push it too much because I do have a move coming up. So realistically, I want to spend about 16. I would love to be able to throw down $2,000. You know, I would love to say, oh, here's $2,000 for a car, and you know, talk them down from like 27 or something. That's kind of what I would want to do, but hello? Oh my God. I don't know if you guys heard that, but these damn spam calls, man. Ever since I paid off my debt, I've been getting so many phone calls for like, oh, we can get rid of your student loans. I'm like, they're already on a payment plan. What are you talking about? You know? Anyway, so I got the move coming up, and we're tackling one thing at a time. Number one, I need a vehicle. I do need a vehicle, and it's kind of what I'm shooting for. And so I got to save up about $3,500 for a new place between now and June, which that's definitely possible. I can do that, but I got to really bust my ass with it. Which having a replacement vehicle would definitely help with that. So we're gonna get off on Rainbow. I'm not supposed to be there until 1. It's still kind of early. He's like 6 minutes away, just about. Oh boy. It's not. Oh my God, this guy. All right, supposed to make a right. Okay, cool. Yeah, when the GPS is minimized, it doesn't really tell you like where you're supposed to go unless you're right there. So, but yeah, I'm doing good though. Well, I'm alive. Got some other weird things going on in my brain noggin, but I try to focus on the fact that I'm still breathing and I'm not dying of the coronavirus. So, you gotta look at the silver linings in life, you know. I think I'll be much happier once all this VA stuff is done with, because once we figure out what's going on and we've kind of agreed, then I can kind of wipe my hands of everything and move forward. You know, whether or not it's positive or negative, just knowing that it's like done with will be super helpful. The only thing aggravating right now is that I'm waiting on lay statements from people, and no one hit me back about it. And I could really, really use those fucking lay statements. Okay. This is the part where it gets kind of bad because this part of Rainbow sucks. All right, I got to make a right anyway. Not now, but later on, so. I'm sure I can go straight here. Am I going to be able to get in? No, I'm gonna go like some really weird roundabout way because man, it's so hard. Like when you turn off of the 215 onto Rainbow Road and you're going south, trying to get from that right lane when you exit the freeway onto any of the left lanes at all is extremely fucking difficult. Because it's like everyone in this area knows how bad the traffic is in this area. And it's not just every now and then, it's all the time like this. It'll be midnight and the traffic will be really shitty like this. So it's Rainbow Road. Yeah, dude. And not the good kind. Not the fun Rainbow Road with the coins and the jingles. This is the Rainbow Road in Las Vegas, which is total garbage, where no one knows how to drive. Well, the thing is, the commute is always random. It's always random. Like, see, I could have gone, there's different ways I could have gone. I took the 215. I knew I was going to hit traffic, but it's a lot quicker than going the other way, which would have been down Fort Apache onto Warm Springs. Actually, I would have hit Warm Springs. That would have been south of the freeway. But even still, it's just traffic, man. Any city you ever go to, when someone says, oh, the city I live in has the worst, every fucking city has fucking shit traffic. I don't care who you are. They all do. There's all kinds of congestion everywhere. It's not just limited to one metro or another. Now, I'm not in Vegas I am in Vegas, but like what everyone knows is Vegas proper, like the Strip area. That's, yeah, we don't really worry about that. So Vegas has skyscrapers, but they're all hotels. It's not like Los Angeles or New York, where the vast majority of the skyscrapers aren't even like residential real estate. They're all commercial applications. Out here, they're all commercial applications, but they're all residential in the sense that they're for housing people, hotels. Oh my God. All right, thank God. Whoa, what is this Land Rover doing? Y'all, man, know what I hate? When it's my turn to go through and I start to go through, and then the other people that are next decide they want to go through as well. Everyone runs lights. There's a lot of hit and runs. Las Vegas, like, we have the highest insurance premium. I was talking about this earlier. We have the highest insurance premiums in the country. And there's for a lot of different reasons. The number one reason, I was looking into this, it's a legal thing. So the way that, because the thing about Las Vegas, that when you don't notice it when you visit, but when you live here, Las Vegas is like really high up in the, like, it's like in the top 5 of every state in the country for injury attorneys, like, you know, liability attorneys, shit like that, like for accidents and stuff. Because there are so many hit and runs, because there are so many like bumper accidents or whatever, there are attorneys everywhere. There are lawyers everywhere, all over this fucking town. So there's a legal law that essentially is supposed to help with the insurance companies and how they do payments for litigation and stuff like that. But the way that law works, I don't have the verbiage off the top of my head, but the way it works is it makes the end consumer, the one that is mandated to have insurance, pay a higher premium. That's why you could have the best, like, driving history in the world. You could have a car with all the safety features and stuff, fully paid off, live in a good area, you know, a safe area where it's not going to get stolen or anything. And the next thing you know, your insurance premiums will still be like $150, $160 or however much. It's nuts. It really is. And that's just because it's Las Vegas, man. You know, I remember the days when I thought $100 for my insurance was high. You know, it's just the nature of the beast, man. It's the nature of the beast. And it's just something that's like been a real headache for me ever since I moved out here. Because, you know me, I like to buy my car outright. And I did that in California, and I paid $30-$40 a month for my insurance through Geico. Well, out here, it's bare minimum. It's like 220, 230. It's like for the bare minimum insurance. It's like whatever, man. It's like, just if that's the cost of living out here. I mean, on the bright side, rent's cheaper. You know, it's like I'm paying half what I did back in California for a place that's twice the size, you know? So yeah, I mean, you save money there, but then the minimum wage is also lower here. Like, a lot of these things kind of factor out. Like, people say, oh, living in Las Vegas, the cost of living so much cheaper. It's like, yeah, but then other things become more expensive. No matter where you go, the economy has a wonderful way of kind of evening things out. It really does. You know, just because you move somewhere doesn't mean, and the cost of living is cheaper, doesn't mean it's going to be any different from where you were before. The only thing that changes it is how much money you actually make. So if you make $15 in LA, but have to live what cost of living in LA, well, that's rough. But if you move out here and you make $11 an hour with the cost of living out here, it's basically the fucking same. Nothing's changed. You know, when you actually break down how much money you're bringing in each month and how much you're required to put out, and you put all these numbers into the equation, it's pretty standard. The only thing that I would say is probably the worst would be San Francisco and New York City. Those two places, man, out of everywhere in the country, there's a huge disparity. You know, you get all these like liberal, super lefty fucking people that are like, oh yeah, we need cost of living's too much. We need $15 an hour minimum wage. A $15 an hour minimum wage in either San Francisco or fucking New York City, that's still not going to afford an apartment in that area. You know what I mean? It's like Seattle. In Seattle proper, $15 an hour minimum wage. But for an apartment in Seattle proper, for a one bedroom, it's like $4 or $5 grand a month. And that's what it was before. Like, that hasn't changed. So it's like when people they say, oh, $15 an hour will make everything better. It's like, no, it won't. Because you were living in Auburn, working in Seattle at $10 an hour. Now you're making $15 an hour in Seattle. Good for you. Guess what? You're still you're still living in Auburn because you can't afford to live up there. Well, that's the thing, man. When the tide rises, so do the ships. Minimum wage ain't supposed to be a living wage. See, here's the thing. Everyone wants to get on this whole the philosophical element of it, right? They want to humanize the issue to make it more personal. And that's really the wrong way to go about doing it. You have to crunch down the numbers and look at things statistically and analytically to get a better view, over what's fair and everything. You know, $15 an hour minimum wage, or just minimum wage in general. People want to humanize it by saying oh, it's the minimum wage should be the minimum. That's what the government says is the minimum for anyone allowed to work so that we can live. And it's like, well, that's just the minimum without any experience, without any skills or talents or education or whatever. The minimum wage is meant for jobs that don't require any particular skill set. That's what the minimum wage is for. For jobs that do have a skill set or education backed by it, then that falls in line with just the economy doing its thing. I'm really sorry. I have something. My ear is doing this really weird popping thing. Yeah, it's like every time I talk, it's like my ear's doing this popping thing, and it's nuts. Yeah, raising the minimum does not help anyone at all. My thing, people look at the here and now. That's the problem. They don't look at the future. How can I get what I want now, right? The way I look at it, We have to prepare for the future. The problem with the past was with like Social Security and a lot of stuff. Back then, it worked for them because that's what we needed back then. But as things changed and time went on, it wasn't future proof. It wasn't like a system that was in place that would actually benefit and help America moving forward decades into the future. What would help us? Better education. Okay. We need to educate, and I'm not saying we need to pour tons of money into education. We just need to properly educate people. With the same funding that we have now, we can educate kids properly. Like, look, you don't have to go to college. What do we do right now? We tell them you're supposed to go to college. You're supposed to get a good paying job after college. You need to take out student loans. You have to go to college. Do everything it takes to go to college, right? That's what we keep telling kids. We don't tell them, hey, go to a trade school, learn a skill, you know. It's like, oh, go to college. Oh, you want to go to college and get an art degree, but you have no idea how to fucking draw. You have no idea what kind of other things could be in line with that degree, but you want an art degree because you like pretty fucking pictures. All right, go for it. Oh, you want to get a master's in women's studies. Fantastic. It's not going to be good for you anywhere, but it's something that we will offer. It's like education is so fucked up. It's so skewed against the person getting the education. It's ridiculous. I'm not saying that college in and of itself is garbage and you shouldn't do it. Definitely do it if you plan accordingly. But if you go to college half-cocked and go to college just for the college experience, and all you're going to leave with, I guarantee you're going to leave with college with some blacked out memories and a whole lot of fucking debt, okay? Because them fuckers will get you one way or another. I mean, I can go more into this, but I gotta go to work, unfortunately. So I'm just sitting here waiting. I got here actually pretty early. I don't mind being 10 minutes early, but oh, that's a wonderful idea. Hey, look at this. What's this? This is a pin. We're going to take your idea, we're going to put it on the board, and we're going to put a pin in it. What's that from? It's from a movie I've seen way too often with my son, my youngest. I mean, like, here's the thing, man. Universal basic income, I don't think it's all right, there are a lot of benefits to universal. Bernie can go fucking no. I'm not even going to say it. I can't remember the quote. It's from the movie Bolt, the animated movie. Cute kids movie. Real adorable. Anyway, what was I saying? Universal basic income. I can see why the pros are the way that they are. The downside is how in the fuck are we going to pay for it? Now, Yang said he talked about introducing a VAT tax to pay for it, which is essentially, a VAT tax is typically put on things that are considered luxury items. And a luxury item is anything that's not need-based. So we're not talking about food. We're not talking about like your rent or housing or whatever. It wouldn't be like a property tax for people that own property. It would just be, it's like, oh, I'm going to go out and buy a video game. Well, that's not needed for your survival. So we're going to tax that. Shit like that. I think certain things like clothing over a certain dollar amount meets the criteria for it. Like there's all sorts of weird ways that VAT tax is calculated. So that's what Andrew Yang proposed. That's how we would pay for it. The thing is, so here's the thing. If we can find a way to pay for it, I'm perfectly fine with going forward with it because I do agree with a lot of the pros of universal basic income. The number one con about universal basic income is I do not think that the American taxpayer should have to pay for it. But if that money is essentially allocated into a pool where people are paying, if technically that's it with all taxes. All taxes are allocated into a pool. But none of that shit gets dispersed properly. That's why we're in a fucking deficit. speculative trading tax. See, here's the thing. I don't want to fuck with trade between different nations and stuff. Taxes have a way of trickling down to the end consumer, always. Just because you tax a corporation, that means that I guarantee you it happens. It's basic economics. We need to build and foster relationships with other countries, and taxing the hell out of them is going to be very bad. Okay. Now, I'm not against, I'm not saying that it should just be free willy-nilly, but I'm just saying we have to do it appropriately when it comes to trading goods back and forth. Because you have to remember, we don't export a whole lot. We import quite a fucking bit. So that tax that the government puts on, you know, they look at that, it's like, oh, that's a lot of money that we're getting. And since we don't export a whole lot, we're not paying so much. It all comes back boiling down. Just because you tax people coming in, it's going to come back right back at you, you know. Oh, that whole Wall Street thing, man, it's like, I think people like Bernie and the far left, it's just the fear monger they can point a finger at. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Wall Street's this tame little thing and it's not as big a deal. No, it is a big deal, but they're not educated on what that is entirely. All they know, it's like, oh, someone in a suit talking on a phone, working on a computer, and he has a shitload of money. That's a bad guy. He makes lots of money, so we should go after him. I mean, I don't know. It's like, that's kind of the perception I have, that these people don't truly know what these guys are doing. These guys are smart individuals that are very well educated, that are working. Wall Street helps keep the economy afloat. Like, that's another thing that they don't realize. Buying and trading stocks, investing in companies, helping like businesses maintain cash flow to be profitable, you know, and then speculating whether or not that business will do better in the future, and investing back even more into that business and trading back and forth. It ebbs and flows. It goes up and down. Oh yeah, dude, trust me too. I'm a pretty selfish millennial as well, and I would prefer my life to be easier. But at the end of the day, when I look long term, where do I want to be? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? Does the leftist agenda kind of line up with that, or does that work against me? For my plans for the future, it would work against me. I would love to be a middle-class American. I would love to, you know, work my way up to owning my own home, having some land, you know, stuff like that, you know, be able to having a nice lifestyle for not just me, but also for my family. I would love that when my boys go to college, that if they don't get scholarships, I wouldn't mind being able to be the one to pay for it, if that's what they decide to do. I would love to be able to have that in my life. Now, in order for me to have that in my life, should I vote red or should I vote blue? Who has my future needs at heart? Well, I think that the red side does, more so than the blue. Blue wants to slap a Band-Aid on something right now that's going to keep me exactly where I'm at for the foreseeable future. Whereas the red, they're not going to give me jack shit. They're going to say, you know what, go out there and get them, boy. Let's see what you can do. And then by the time I get to that point, it's like, congratulations, you made it. What, you want a fucking cookie? Just enjoy it. You know, that's basically how it works. But when you look in scale for what's better for the country, a little bit of both. You know, what's best for everyone is really hard to fucking pinpoint. But when you kind of take nuggets from here and there, something from the left, something from the right, find the fucking line in the middle, you kind of get something that's more cohesive for everyone involved. And that's why I kind of lie as a libertarian. You know, I do believe there are social issues in this world that we do need to address. I'm not a big fan of red tape, but I'm not also a big fan of corporations getting one over on the little guy. But at the same time, I don't think that we should have crazy amounts of government control. And, you know, I do draw the line, you know, with certain things being rights over privileges and things like that. It's easier just to call me a libertarian more than anything else. Also, taxation is fucking theft. So it's kind of where I'm at. Equality of opportunity, which is why I advocate for, well, I would state the phrase equity. You know, we all want a fair shake, but in order to have a fair shake, we need to be on a level playing field. Universal basic income could be a very positive thing, but they need to tax it appropriately. They need to tax it appropriately. I think probably one of the easiest countries to look at would be Monaco. Monaco is an extremely wealthy country, and the government makes all their money strictly off of VAT tax. But then again, when your VAT tax averages about $10,000 per purchase, because Monaco is one of the smallest countries in the world, it's also per capita is one of the wealthiest because it's essentially a luxury state. Real estate there is like $100 million just for a small condo. Anyway, I'm at the job. I have to get off, and I will talk to you guys later. As always, I'm your also glorious, beloved Maze Valor, signing off.